Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Mac. Today we're going to be doing some drawing. So if you haven't already, find some paper and also find your crayons, markers, or whatever you have to draw with. We are going to be drawing our own version of a very famous painting by an artist named Vincent Van Gogh, and I'm sure you've seen it before, and I'll throw up a picture of it. It is called the Starry Night. So we're going to be doing our own version of that. To start our Starry Night, I have got my paper turned horizontally or long ways laying down. So make sure your paper is that direction. And I'm going to start using black. So if you don't have black, you can use brown or maybe like a dark blue, but I'm going to be using black. And I'm going to be using a marker so that you can see mine really well, but you can use a crayon. And I'm going to be down at the bottom. I know Miss Fisher has talked about when we do our how to draw videos, adding a horizon line. And that's the very first thing we're going to do. And I'm going to be kind of low on my paper here. And I'm going to draw a line, and it does not have to be straight. It can be a little curvy if you want, going right across the bottom of my paper. In the Starry Night painting, he's got a big tree right here, and it's called a cypress tree. And those trees are kind of fluffy, and they almost look like a really big bush. But instead of doing a cypress tree, I think for ours, we could do a tree that looks a little more similar to the trees we have around here. So to start my tree, I'm going to be on the left side over here. And I'm just going to start really simple with one vertical line, standing up nice and tall. And the easiest way to make trees is to make the letter Y over and over again. So if I made a line right here, it kind of looks like a big letter Y. And I'm going to do it again off here to make a little Y. And it doesn't have to be the right side. We can make a backwards Y, another little Y right here. Just add as many as you want. I might add another one here and one up here. These are going to make our branches. And then to make it look a little more like a tree, I'm going to make it nice and thick wherever it's meeting another line. So this little line is meeting this little line. And I'm going to make my whole tree a little bit thicker too. And we don't have any leaves or anything, but we can add some of those in. This is just the bare bones of our tree here to start with. Now once you've got your tree, we can add anything you want over here on this side. You can make it Halloween themed. I'm going to make mine fall themed. So I'm going to have some little pumpkin shapes right here, which are basically little ovals. And they've got a little bit of a square or rectangle on top. I'm going to do another one right here with a square or an oval or a rectangle on top. And then I might do one over here kind of all by himself. Kind of an oval shape with a little bit of a top. Now what I want to do is fill in these areas, our pumpkins and our little below our horizon line there, with black. So that way it kind of looks like a silhouette. If you haven't heard that term before, it's the black kind of solid outlines of shapes. And then we'll make our background nice and colorful. So go ahead and start filling in the bottom portion here and your pumpkin shapes with black. This may take a minute. So take your time and fill in those areas to make it a silhouette. All right, so once you get that all filled in nice and dark at the bottom, we've got our silhouettes of our tree and our little pumpkins. So to start the sky, I'm actually going to start with yellow. And like I said, if you're using crayons, that's fine. I just want you to be able to see mine really nice and bold with these markers. The main lines we need are two swirls. So they're going to kind of have a circular shape. I'm starting on the left side, And I'm gonna come over and bring a nice big curl onto my paper, just like that. And I'm gonna do another one kind of coming right from the bottom. It's gonna be a little smaller. I'm gonna make one right here. It's actually kind of falling between my pumpkins there. It's gonna have two curly Q shapes like that. And there's a nice big moon in his painting also. So I'm gonna have a nice big circle up here at the top corner. As you get older, they'll say, don't put your suns and your moons in the corner, but we're doing what Mr. Van Gogh did. So I'm gonna make a nice big solid yellow circle. And we'll add some more details to this in a little bit. But a nice big yellow circle right in the top right corner. Now around our swirls and our circle for our moon, we're gonna be doing a lot of dashed lines. So when you go to draw a line, if you just pick up your marker or your crayon every so often to make a little dash, I'm gonna be doing this all around our swirls and our moon. And I'm starting with yellow, but we're gonna add all kinds of color. And we're gonna fill in this entire white space with dashed lines. So when in doubt, add more. And you don't have to go perfectly along the line. I'm kind of going out, just kind of random. It does not have to be in any particular order. But I'm doing yellow right around that curly Q shape we just made and our moon. Keep adding until we're gonna have this whole thing nice and full. And we can always go back and add more. The next color I'm gonna use is orange. So go ahead and find orange, whether it's a marker or a crayon. And I'm gonna be doing the same thing kind of along the outline of my yellow. Wherever your yellow stopped, you can kind of overlap into it a little bit. Dashed lines all around. Now when you get over to your moon, inside Van Gogh's moon, he has a little bit of a crescent moon, which is that little kind of half circle shape. So if you want to add that in, you can. I'm on top of the yellow, and I'm kind of starting with a little bit of a curve, like a C shape, and then you just kind of make it thicker towards the middle. A C or a U shape, just kind of thicken it up in the center. So you get kind of a crescent moon. And I'm going back to my dashing. Now Van Gogh was doing this with a paintbrush, so it was a little bit faster and kind of flowed easier. So if you ever have paint and you want to try this, it goes a little bit faster and it looks really neat too. And you can dash right up over your tree since we did that with black. And if you need to go back to yellow and add some more, you can. But when in doubt, just keep adding and adding. I'm actually going to use some crayons too, just to help fill up this space. And dash with some crayons. You can always mix together crayons and markers. It kind of looks nice when you do both. I'm making these a little bit longer. You can make your dashes short, long, different every time. Whatever you want to do. This is your Starry Night. And I apologize for how loud my crayons are. They're just yelling this morning. The next color I'm going to use is blue. So go ahead and find your blue marker or crayon. And we're going to be doing the same thing along the edges of our orange. The last color I'm going to use is purple. So if you haven't already, find your purple marker or crayon. And this should bring us to the edges of our white space, or all that space we have left. So I'm going to start filling those in. And that's how we get that swirly Starry Night sky. If you want to go back in and add anything else, if you want to make it a little more of a Halloween theme, you could do some little tombstones. If you just draw like a little arch and fill it in. If you want to add a couple leaves to your tree, you could do them the same way you did your sky. Just a couple dashes around those branches. Since these trees aren't super full, it's fall, all their leaves are falling off, you could just add some dashes for a couple leaves. Or any other details you want. And that's how you get your Starry Night.